Olatunji, thanks so much for joining us this morning. What do you make of the President's appointment of Governor Namadi Samba of the Kaduna State? What effect is this going to have on the markets today?
Ordinarily, it's actually been expected. In order for the president of the nation to actually carry on his functions effectively, and for there not to be any distraction, obviously he needed to actually have a vice that will probably be supporting him anytime his actions is actually needed. I think it's a welcome development that we can put that behind us, and then the president can actually focus on doing the business of the day. The fact that he has picked the man who has not actually been in the picture or in the news at all, I think it's a good thing for governance.
Right, well, the NSE up slightly by 0.5% yesterday, but I wanted to just get your thoughts on a couple of comments that came out from Renaissance Capital saying that Nigeria, it's the biggest market and also the cheapest at the moment. They've obviously increased their stake from their sub-Saharan fund to 39% from 24% last year. Is Nigeria very cheap right now? Is this where global investors should certainly be putting their money?
Before I answer that question, I think we should look at it from the perspective that we have the population. And if you look at the macros, they are not looking too badly. We have a low debt to GDP ratio. We have oil prices, which is relatively stable. Production is also looking good currently at the moment. So the macros are not looking too badly. Of course, we are actually coming out from the banking sector reform, which has actually led to the banks actually withholding credit to the economy as a whole. But in spite of that fact, we've actually seen most non-financial still posting profits, which we believe that by the time the banks actually commence lending once again to the general economy, the chances are that we'll probably still see earnings grow at a much faster pace. Putting that at the back of our mind, we think if earnings are growing, the fundamentals of the economy is still looking good, then I think I'll probably agree with that statement that Nigeria is still currently cheap. Might just be a place where you want to put your money.
Right, well, in that banking sector, we had Nigeria's Fidelity Bank out with results yesterday, pre-tax profit down 46%. Was this really attributable to the central bank's uniform year-end mandate? Because we also saw a 25% decline in loans and advances.
I think everything still has to do with the CBN's reform. First and foremost, Fidelity Bank's year-end initially was, the last year-end was June 2009. And then they started a new financial year. So the results that we actually saw for Fidelity Bank was for 6 months ended December 2010. So that's why you probably saw that significant drop in the gross earnings. But in spite of that fact, we still saw their loans, the loan books actually declined about 20% in the final quarter of the year, which tells you that the banks, of course, after the CBN audits and then the write-down, the provisioning that the banks have done, they've actually focused more on recoveries, and they are not actually giving out new loans. And because of that, we actually saw the loan book actually decline. But going forward, we think that is not probably going to be the case. Most banks are actually focusing more on lending, but I think to the higher clean corporate levels, and I think that's one of the things that Fidelity Bank would also be looking at. Although the result wasn't looking too impressive, we believe that going forward, there are chances that they'll probably do better than what we did in the final quarter of last year.